So, quick update. Today is Friday, September 25th. It's currently about 2 p.m. And I already kind of had a full day so far. So, this morning I went to get a COVID swab test because I'm going to be getting an endoscopy procedures done on Monday, and I need to be cleared for COVID to be able to do that. And when people say that it's unpleasant to get the COVID test, it's unpleasant. I mean, gosh, it felt like it was like up underneath my eyeball. It was pretty crazy. It was unpleasant. But you do what you got to do. So I'm waiting on the results of that, and I'm worried because I'm hoping that that comes back negative so that I'm able to have this procedure on Monday. Because if I'm not able to have this procedure on Monday, I know that the doctors are worried about the levels of bilirubin. I believe that's how it's pronounced in my system, and this is the reason why I'm jaundiced, and the fact that there's bile pretty much that's not draining in the way that it should within my body, which is not a good thing. So I'm hoping that, fingers crossed, that I haven't exposed myself in any way to COVID and that I'll find out those test results very soon. I think the bigger notable thing is that yesterday, which was Thursday, September 25th, 2020, had the appointments at the McCain Pancreatic Cancer Center or Clinic, where I met the oncologist. I took a CT scan, took some blood tests, met the medical oncologist, and met the surgeon. And I was there for about 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. And it was a pretty intense meeting because they know that there's a mass in the pancreas, but they were planning on the assumption, based on the assumption that it's cancerous. And the idea, or the way that I was thinking about it, is, they would have to biopsy it with this procedure that's upcoming on this Monday to be able to determine whether or not it's actually cancerous or not. Especially since it seemed like in the ultrasound imaging, and apparently in the initial look on the ultrasound or the CT scan, that it looked like it was pretty localized. It didn't look like there were any other masses or spots. So I had this appointment, a series of appointments yesterday morning. It was exhausting to go through all of that. There's a lot of information and a lot of sort of unknowns, but the assumption was being that the mass is cancer in my pancreas, and that they were going to be very aggressive about treating it. And from the information that they had up to that point, I guess they would have said that this was like a treatable cancer. By the time that I got home, though, I got a phone call from the lead oncologist, Dr. Alamova, and she's fantastic. She's, from everything that I've experienced of her so far, she's been really, really great. She called me herself and let me know that the radiologist who looked through the CT scan saw that there were spots in my intestines, which means that the cancer has spread. So it's in the bloodstream. It's not just localized to the pancreas. So it's no longer operable, which means it's not possible to treat, apart from for comfort and for, I guess, like longevity at this point. So it's been a day since I've learned about it. I mean, it's roughly like 24 hours, I guess, that I've known about it now. And I have like difficulties in just being able to figure out how to put words to it. Like, I don't know, it's end of life, or it's terminal, or I don't know. Like, those two ways of they're accurate, and I know that people use them. I have to figure out for myself like what I want to say or how I want to phrase it, I guess. I still have way more information that I need. I also still need to figure out how much of treatment, of palliative treatment, maintenance, I guess, treatment that I would be able to sustain. And meaning like how long then that's going to keep me alive. But all I can keep thinking about really is that, you know, there's that cliche, life is short, and it really is. And for some of us, it's shorter than others. And I'm going to keep making these videos because I want to be able to share my journey. And maybe that through my story, through my experiences, there might be certain things that you can learn for yourself. Maybe there might be something in here where it's like, well, maybe I won't hold back on these things because you never know when something changes. Because I've been feeling pretty crappy for about a month now, maybe 2 months. But it's only been this past week, since pretty much this Monday, that I have learned that my life is going to be much shorter than I had previously thought that it would be. The hardest part about all of this for me so far is telling the people around me, letting the people around me know, or seeing that the people around me know. I had a wonderful friend who was on the phone with me while I was at the hospital, talking about all kinds of stuff on yesterday, the 24th. And then I met up with my husband and I gave him kind of the cliff notes of things, at which point we didn't quite yet know that it had spread. But by the time that we did get home and had the phone call with the oncologist, he knew that this isn't something that is going to be something curable. Do you cure cancer? Either way, like whatever I have, it's not going to be curable, and it's just really going to be a matter of time. So it's a weird way. I don't know how it's sinking in with me yet. All I know is that there's a lot of people around me who's having a hard time with it. And that seems to make me more emotional than like what it actually means for me. Maybe that comes. I'm sure it will, and especially when things start happening like chemo and things like that. But that's the news for today. And what I decided to do is I'm going to keep recording these as a series to add to my Life Stuff 101 YouTube channel, because I started a podcast called Life Stuff 101 based on my work in psychotherapy and the need for mental wellness. But I also believe that this is about life stuff too. Different kinds of life stuff, but within it, I think like also just life. One of the things that I feel like I'm in the process of coming into is like this idea that I've lived in fear. Like there's been so much fear that I've had in my life for a very long time. But when you think about the possibility that you know that there's more of a finiteness to life, then it becomes like, well, what's the point for that fear? What's the point of like pulling myself out or pulling myself back or not doing certain things because of fear? It's all transient, right? So anyway, like I'll be talking more about that, and maybe in future episodes I will take you out with me. But for now, I'm on my couch and kind of resting because it's been a tiring few days, and whenever there is another thing to share, I will be back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.